Alright guys, this is Hunter here with Goodman Lawn Care, and today we're about to plant this plant. That sounds kind of funny, but I'm gonna teach you how to plant a plant the right way. And I've learned from many different people, from my college I went to, UNCC, people over at Walden's. I've talked to different people, and I've learned kind of the best way, in my opinion, to plant a plant. Alright, so the very first thing you want to do when you're planting the plant is you want to look at it from an out standpoint. So like I'm looking at it and I'm like, so that's the center, and I'm not really going to take a tape measure and measure it, but if you really want to get the exact center, you take a tape measure and measure it, and take a tape measure and measure it, and center it up, and that's how it would be. So I got my spot marked off. This is where it needs to go, and so then I'm going to take the plant and you put it there, and you kind of visualize how it's going to look and everything. So that's going to look good. I've already kind of checked it out before this video started and everything. So that's how it's going to go. And the next thing you want to do, this is a very important part, is you want to look at the size of the pot. And the best way to do that is to put it back in the hole, and you want to dig the hole 2 times as big as a pot. So you want the hole basically to be about that big around the pot. So now I got my line right there. That's how big my hole is going to be to put that plant in there. So, and the reason I'm digging it 2 times bigger than the pot is so that the roots can expand into the ground, and they have room to expand. They're not just shoved up against hard dirt. All right guys, so got the hole dug, as you can see here. So the next thing you want to do, and this soil doesn't look good, but is what it is. That's kind of what we're stuck with here. So I'm gonna plant it. So to get the plant out of the pot, it's not really anything tricky. You just want to kind of go around and press around the side of the pot, kind of loosen everything up, and then pull it right out like that. You don't ever want to grab the plant like that and just yank it out, because then you take a chance on tearing the plant or tearing it off the roots or anything like that. Most people, when they plant a plant, this is where they mess up. They just put it in the hole. They don't fluff out the roots. They don't, do anything. And so I'm going to show you, this is where the good stuff comes in. So all these roots are pretty fluffed out on this one, but you want to kind of go around and kind of break everything up and get it where everything's just kind of loose. So you see now all these roots, they look like a shaggy dog, and that's what you want. So the next thing is all the dirt that came in the pot. That's the soil this plant's been growing in for however long. So you want to mix that in with the soil that's already there. That way you're not just putting it in foreign soil. So the next thing you want to do is you want to put the plant in the hole, and you want to look at it. Get this off of here. And you want the top of the root ball right there to be even with the soil. And I even like to put it up about that much higher, about an inch, about a ½ inch higher than the soil level. That way, when all the water comes off from the rain and off the roof and whatever, it flows off, and the water that it needs goes in. But if you plant it in there like that, then you see it's like that, it creates a funnel. And when it creates a funnel, it'll saturate the plant and kill it. And because some people don't know this, some people do, but you can give a plant too much water. And that's the fastest way to do it right there. I've seen plants die, I've seen trees die, because people plant it like a funnel. And you don't want to do that. You want to plant it about right there is where I'm going to do it probably, and you want to kind of mound it up. And so that's the best way to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and put this plant in the ground, and then I'll show you the rest of it. Alright guys, so we got the plant in the ground. As you can see, I've kind of got it mounded up. I don't like this soil that it's in. I don't like this gravel, but that's just kind of what we're dealt with. That's kind of what we got. And we have, you can see, turn the camera around that way, you can see there's plants growing over there, and they're growing pretty good. So evidently below the gravel there's some good clay, good soil there. So hopefully we dug down good enough and got enough of that in there that this plant will live. And which this is a property that I maintain. I maintain the grass and everything here, so I can kind of keep a good close eye on it. And so that's good. And so proper care for these plants after you put them in the ground is probably going to be watering every day, maybe even a little bit of fertilizer. I wouldn't recommend a whole lot of fertilizer, and I wouldn't recommend strong fertilizer. I'd do maybe like 888. And if you wanted to go the extra step, maybe put some root growth hormone in there, some B9 maybe, something like that, just to maybe help this plant a little bit. But none of that's a have to. Mainly just the main thing is just water them and just watch them and make sure they don't catch any, diseases or anything like that, and just make sure you just take care of them. It's pretty simple and pretty easy. So, but that's how I plant plants. Not sure if that's how you do it. Might have a different way. Let me know in the comment section if you have seen people plant stuff like this, if this is how you do it, or if you do it a different way, and maybe explain how you do it and everything. So appreciate you watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. And remember to like, subscribe, and I'll see you later.